from every wrestling hell. We dive deep into the stories behind the ring. Respecting the craft, making the fans sing. Respect the craft, making the fans sing. Respect the craft, respect the fight. We bring the best, we can't hide. Respect the craft, making the fans sing. Respect the craft, respect the fight. We bring the best, we can't hide. We dive deep into the stories behind the ring. Respect the craft, making the fans sing. Respect the craft, respect the fight. We bring the best.
And what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Respect the Craft. This is episode number 259, and I'm joined here by Dive Bomb himself. We got Diego Hill in the building. What's going on, man?
What's going on with you, big man? How you doing?
All good, man. Can't complain. Glad we could finally make this happen. But again,
Yeah.
I'm glad to be able to talk with you here. So, but before I get into everything I do want to discuss, because we have a lot to discuss here, I have to ask you the question I ask everyone that comes on. You heard the name of the show. It's called Respect the Craft. So for you, when you hear that term, the craft, what does that mean to you?
Man, it can mean a lot of things, like the craft. It can mean like the culture. It can mean like your peoples, um, the energy. It can mean like a whole lot of things when I think of the word craft. The environment, I should say.
Got you. No, that works. That definitely works right there. So now I have to ask you, for you, what was it that made you decide you wanted to step into this craft of professional wrestling? What was it that made you decide, you know what? I got to step in through those ropes. Not just I know the usual question is always, so what got you into wrestling? But what was it for you that it wasn't just thing you enjoyed, a hobby like that? It was something that's like, I have to step in through those ropes there.
You know, I could say it was crazy because like when I was 8 years old, like that's all I dreamed about was being a wrestler. And once you start graduating high school, then you'd be like, okay, I got to go to college or in the military, this and that. I was in college a couple of times, and I had like a brother who was already like in the business, and when I was like staying in North Carolina, and you know, there were moments where it was just like I loved wrestling so much. It wasn't just like WWE or New Japan or other stuff that I would watch. I would like actually watch the actual indie wrestling too. And at that point, the moment what made me like step out, like stepped wanted me to like step inside the ring, what I could say it was just like the energy. Like I said, like no one good and well, like never really like played played like a sport that was so similar to wrestling. Like I did amateur wrestling, but like me and my family grew up playing soccer, and then like after that, did a little bit of basketball in high school. But you know, to that moment when I realized I wanted to get in the ring was actually the moment that my brother put me on to it. So it was like right when I stepped in and like just ran around in the ring or whatever, it just like I was like, man, I gotta do this shit. Honestly, I just gotta do it.
Got you. No, that works out. Again, it's those moments like that. It's just like you get that feeling of like, you know what? This is it. But now
Right.
from that, you get in there, that crazy moment of just like, this is what I want to do. When was that moment for you that, you know what? This was the right choice. Like being in the business already, what was it for you that got you like, you know what? This is what I was meant to do.
I could say what like the first time when I got in there and like did the bumps, I was like, yeah, that shit hurt. But then again, like I like my family, we're athletes, you know what I'm
Got you.
saying? Like I guess it was like the athletic side of me that was just like, okay, this is fun. So now I want to
Yeah.
do this. Because like, believe it or not, I love trampoline parks, but it's like every time when I'm on top of a rope, I just love to just bounce off a rope and just like hit the rope wherever it was. It was just like
Got you.
I was just so addicted to it. I guess at that point to now, like, fucking love this shit.
Gotcha. No, it makes sense. Again, it's one of those where it's the little things that people are like, wait, you enjoy? It's like, yeah, man. Like that's always been the thing. I always tell people that it's like one of the things I miss from being in the ring is the bumps. Like that feeling. There's nothing that
Yeah,
matches it.
yeah.
Like as much as again, it's you definitely feel it the next day, but it's like those bumps. There's nothing that matches that high.
Oh yeah.
Like it's something just again. It's the insanity of it. But again, it looks like it's proven very well because that's one of the reasons I chose this pick for the graphic because you're holding some hardware now. We got
Yeah.
three separate hardware we're talking about right here. One being that 5 Star Wrestling Skywalker Championship, the
Oh yeah.
newly won UPW International Championship there, and then last but not least, that East Coast Championship right there. So talk us through those moments winning those championships right there and how that felt for you.
I mean, it felt really good. The ESW East Coast champion was actually the first. I wouldn't say the actual first champion I got, but it was like the first belt I had got this year. And for me, like, never thought of myself being like a championship guy or like a champion for any company. But it's just like the moment like they trust me to be their champions and all that, I just like know that I could push myself to a next limit. And so like that moment when I won that belt, it was just like a dream come true. I felt like the job isn't done yet, but it's like I did the job. You know what I mean?
Got you. No, it makes sense. Again, it's one of those where it all clicked. It was one of those where it's like, this is it here.
Right.
Like, and it's one of those where to win that, and then again to win two championships in there. I believe the Skywalker, you're the first for 5 Star, right?
Yeah,
Their first.
so that one, yeah, about that one, I think I went through 2 or 3 matches
Yeah,
out of that because like it was a brand new belt and the owner of 5 Star decided to like do like a little Skywalker tournament. And it was like kind of like something similar to like TNA and the X division type thing, but it's like we're trying to build our like light heavyweight high flyer division thing.
got you.
Know if that means. And at that point, I was like, "Oh, I'm a part of this," and then realized that like I didn't know I was gonna get the belt. Like, but then like the moment I got the belt, it's like, okay, they trust me to put this division to like the next limit.
Well, no, it makes sense. Again, with the style you do, it definitely works for that no limit style in there. Funny enough, to win that championship, you ended up facing, at least in one of the matches, was a former guest of the podcast, Hemi Hendrix. You got in there with to.
Oh yeah, man. I actually broke my pinky wrestling him.
Well then, I hope he
But
doesn't
I
listen to
still I
this.
still won the match though. I still won the match. He was a part of that tournament, but he was the first guy I had to go through to get to the
Gotcha.
next round.
Oh wait, so oh man, for some reason I thought that was who you ended up winning the title from, or at least won the tournament in. So imagine that you end up breaking your pinky in that, and still like, no, you got more matches
Yeah,
to go.
and still had to fucking go. I was like, well, it's just a hand though. You know what I'm saying? It's just a finger, but it's like,
Yeah,
oh, I got like other fingers that I can hand up there. So I'm just like, I'm gonna still fucking wrestle. I don't care.
yeah, yeah. No, and that shows you though. That's that true respect for the craft there to be like, you know what? I got 9 more. I'll be all right. Like I could still go through this with no problem right here. Like
Right.
that is insane. But no, we go into that because your first tower defense, especially for that Skywalker, is coming up next Saturday. So if we could talk about that for a little bit here, as it's going to be at Summer Bash. You're defending that Skywalker championship against Chris Slade. Your thoughts going into this one next Saturday night?
Oh yeah, I'm very excited for that. The last time I wrestled Chris Slade, uh, before 5 Star was like 5 Star, I think the owner of that had another company that was NCW, and when I had made my debut there, Chris Slade was actually the first person I wrestled in West Virginia, And like I can say me and him kind of got like a similar styles, this and that. But like a guy like him to like reach my limit and like to finally have the opportunity to wrestle him again, like I hope they put that in the main event spot because like that right there, you got two of your top guys in 5 star about to put on the show for this Skywalker Division title, and that I'm just super excited for.
Got you. No, and again, especially what the style of that championship means, is definitely going to be one you guys got to check out. So if you haven't already, make sure you get your tickets for Summer Bash there. It definitely promises to be can't miss. But then I also noticed for that ESW championship, you're going to be defending against another former guest of the show here as you're defending
Oh
against
man, yeah, yeah.
Rayo. And I see you and Rayo, this won't be the first time you guys have squared off. So
It's
tell us your
definitely
history with with Rayo there.
you know wrestling right. It's like you know what can I say? Like Ryo, he's got that unique style. Like something that nobody else can touch. Like I said, like he's worked with WWE. Like he was a former Ring of Honor star. Like he's pretty much done it all. Like I could say, like he's been on TV before I even have. I'm giving him his flowers right now, and the fact that I gotta have this match with him again. And last time me and Ryo wrestled was at I think it was main. Of course, it was Mania week, but it wasn't in Philly. It was in Jersey. I think the place was called the Monster Factory, if I'm wrong.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, and apparently me and him had a banger. But I could say this match is a little personal because last time me and him wrestled, like he pushed the line, try to
Yeah.
shake his hand, then he just kicks me right in the balls. So I'm just
Yeah,
like,
he's not too likable at times. Like we were able to get him a nice sit down here, but after a while, I think I might have, or at least he felt a little disrespected. So he wasn't too keen when he was here the last time. So it makes sense.
right,
He's not the easiest to get along with, unfortunately, but we'll
hey,
definitely see what he thinks here.
hey, but like I
So,
said, I get to get my revenge on him again in June. So that's what I'm excited for as well.
oh, there we go. We got the call up saying you're right. It was the Monster Factory. There you go. Thank you, Kenny. Shout out to my boy Kenny there, giving us the fact check. He makes
Oh yeah,
sure we got the facts there. So thank you, Kenny. But we go from that. A week after that, you'll be trying to get some more gold, trying to go Diego 4 belts here as you're
oh
making your way back to PPW here as you're going against a man you just faced to win some gold, actually, as well. As it's going to
oh
be
yeah.
defending champion, the Neon Ninja himself, Facade, versus the master of the Tornado DDT, Fuego del Sol, versus Diego Hill. So talk us through this one as you have a chance to win some heavyweight gold here, but also going in there once again with Fuego del Sol.
Yeah. Like I said, um, I'm just humble for it right now. You know what I'm saying? Another gold opportunity that I got, and it was crazy because like before I even had another PPW heavyweight championship. My first one, I gave it my all, and didn't come out with the belt, but afterwards, had to redeem myself, and then finally put myself back in that title picture, like I said I was going to. You know what I'm saying? And for that one, I've wrestled Facade. I've been in the ring already with Fuego, and it's like three three athletes right there. That's like in a main event spot. There's nothing just gets better than that. And I could say it's kind of hard trying to get the Pennsylvania crowd, especially on that side of Pennsylvania. It's kind of hard getting them to cheer for you. I could say, but at the end of the day, I still do my thing. If they like me, they like me. If they don't, then oh well, y'all gonna like me at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say, I feel like it's hard for you to not be liked, especially again with what you do in that ring. I think if they don't know you at the start, they're definitely gonna know you by the end of that match.
And it's crazy too, because like so many companies try to make me a heel, and it just didn't work. Like I never to this day worked heel. Oh, I'm baby face all the way, just all the way.
I can, and I can see why they're trying to be like, oh, you can be the cocky heel, but it's like with what you do in that ring, it's just you're gonna get the crowd
Like,
reaction.
I
Like
don't need
there's no
no
way.
booze or nothing. It's just their
Like
jaws.
yeah, there is a match we're gonna talk about it later that I feel like that I put out in the universe that might be a way you could be a heel, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll talk about that in a little
Okay.
bit. But ergo, Kenny's saying this match sounds like a banger. It definitely does.
Oh yeah,
Again, all
definitely.
three of you, shout out to PPW because they definitely know what they're doing over there. Shout out
Oh
to
yeah.
Paul Bow and all of them. Like they definitely kill it with those shows over there
Those
in that
right.
PA area. So shout out to them. But again, from that, we go into some more huge opportunities that I want to talk to you about because again, championships are one thing, but getting to do something like this definitely I can imagine means the world. So talk to us how it means to be able to wrestle in La Isla del Encanto again to make your way to Ground Zero Wrestling. Talk us through making your way to Puerto Rico.
You know, it's like a dream come true. Cause like, if anybody doesn't know, like, I've also got Puerto Rican on my side of the family too. And for like them, like like once I had found this out, I ain't even told my pops about it yet. And like as soon as he found out, he's just like right there, just started busting, crying, because like he's from the island, and like that I've heard there's like good sides and bad sides about the island, but at the end of the day, we're just one big happy family. And for me to like finally wrestle there and like in front of my people, in front of my family, in front of my culture, like it just means the world. You know what I'm saying? And whoever is like in my way over there, just know I'm not just debuting there to just shake hands, this and that. Nah, I'm here to get the job done and make sure I come back the next day.
No, that's awesome to hear. So I got to ask you that because when I saw, and I'm like, okay, this works out because I've heard before. I know you have that Puerto Rican in you, so I know this has to mean the world to finally be able to wrestle for that side of the culture there, and
Yeah,
get to be a part of that. So just how does that mean to you? Not only have you been able to use that and represent that as well, but now get to finally make your splash over there in the island.
I felt like it's a dream come true. Like I said, like I felt like I would get all the love, the passion, and just the support that you know I deserve.
Gotcha. Now, again, shout out to Ground Zero Wrestling there. Check them out as this will be the anniversary event on Saturday, August 17th. Check them out as, again, Diego Hill makes his way to GZW there. Want to make sure we pronounce that right because let's not confuse people with some other companies
Oh yeah.
that might have similar letters there. Which, again, you never know what could happen because I saw a little tweet you posted out. I should have clipped it where GCW is bringing in a certain individual that you might want to square up with eventually. So a certain individual that might know how to do a flip or two, little cartwheel or two. So
Oh yeah. I would just say this: if he comes to PWF, and if anybody doesn't know, PWF is the place where I train at, the place that is my home, and a lot of y'all have heard about Kobe Carino,
yes,
Hammermeyer. Like I've been trained by them, and I felt like if it wasn't for like CWA, PWF, I would not be where I'm at today, honestly. And like Kobe, he's helped me so much how to like make my style of wrestling make sense. Jakob has always showed me the what's to do's and what not to do's, you know, and that's that right there. That's what I'm always thankful for. You know what I'm saying? And for you know, like, cause I've actually had a training school, like went to another training school before I even went to PWF. So then, like, at that time when I was at that school before, I really didn't learn much. But it's like as
gotcha.
soon as I went to CWA and PWF, I learned like a whole lot.
Yeah. Which I can imagine. Again, it's one of those to be able to be under the tutelage of Colby Carino, who again, it's no secret of just the lineage he comes from the
Yeah,
lines of insane minds like Steve Carino, having Allison Danger in the family. Like it is hard not to just get all that insane information from a guy like Colby, who again I've had the pleasure of again to work with at shows, and every time I talk to him, it's just a lot of knowledge to get from Colby. So,
Right.
how has that been again to learn under him, and just what does that mean? Because again, you also look at who's been under that same winning as well, and all of you guys have been killing it every time I see you guys.
Yeah. It was like I feel like if it wasn't for him, I would have not got myself out as much as I did
Got you.
for the past 2 to 4 years. You know what I mean? Like he's always showed me like the ways of how to like branch myself out. And like to
No,
this day, still bugging me about daggone making a new Twitter. And I'm like, I ain't trying to do all that. You know how hard it took me to get 1K? I ain't going back down there, brother. I ain't going.
I was gonna say he might be right with something because for some reason Twitter does not want to let people tag you. So
Oh
there might be
man.
something wrong with your Twitter.
Apparently, that my Twitter's been shadow banned.
Ye-
But
I Yeah, unfortunately that is the real thing. Unfortunately that is a real thing. Shout out to also former guest of the podcast, Phil Stamper. It does that a lot, especially if you promote stuff and you put your stuff out there. Twitter's not fond of that, even though that's supposedly the reason why we have social media. It's not
right.
fond of it. So I was shadow banned for a minute. There was a time I could not get, and yeah. So
I feel like I'm gonna get back.
there is a way out. There is a way out. You'll be able to get out of it. We'll talk about it off the air, so we don't share too many of the secrets on here. But I'll definitely let you know how you'll make a way out of that because we definitely need to use the Twitter. Here we go. We got Keith Mack in the chat. What's going on? What's going on? And look at that. We got Theo Mac. Look at that. We got two Macs back to back as we have Theo Monster Mac in the building saying Diego is one of the best out there. He definitely is. Definitely is. This is why we're having the conversation right here. Which brings me to that because that is another reason. Shout out to Colby as well. I got to see you a lot because of shout out to Callus Wrestling, where we got to see you guys in NYC when it comes to you, when it comes to Jackson Drake, and even Malachi, getting to see you guys over here and make your ways to the tri state. How's that been making your waves all around? And how was for you getting to wrestle in front of the tri state crowd or the NYC crowd, I should say?
Oh man, I never thought of myself like going there, like going anywhere like that far. But like as soon as I like got the message to like go there, I was like, man, it was just like what can I say, Wonderland. And like so beautiful, like it's just like as soon as I went there and like get ready for my match and everything, like I was nervous at first, but it was like apparently a few of the fans knew me already, so it was like with that moment, I don't know why. It's like when I go through a curtain, I get nervous, but it's like if the fans start cheering or whatever, I could be like, all right, we good. I take that in. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm just like real grateful for that
Yeah.
opportunity. That energy over there from like over here is just so different.
Yeah. No, and it definitely is not surprising that I definitely know you because again, you definitely have made your mark. It's one of those where you talk about guys like that. You have been out there. You got that reach with it, and especially even your stuff with even DPW. The New York crowd's gonna know. Like shout out to DPW and the amazing work they do there because that's definitely put guys and get that outlook on guys like yourself, guys like Jay Malachi, who now is killing it with NXT, guys like Bojack, who you guys are truly getting that showcase out there.
Well, let
So
me tell
there,
you something, my friend. I'm Papa Diego right here. And for him to tell you more, Diego has been a warrior out there. He's been proving himself for years, how strong he is, how dedicated he is in this sport. And believe me, what is coming this year is going to be a totally different thing. Diego's coming with fire. Diego's coming with the most powerful bomb that you guys never will see. And I guarantee you, this man here is going to leave a mark in wrestling. And I see you one thing. I'm going to let you one thing only. I will see him in WWE, WWF, whatever you call it. He will be there soon. And one thing is, any match, anyone out there that want to dare my man, Diego Hill, the Dive Bomb Hill, to come up, I dare you to come and get it. Because we, the Boricuas, are going to kick ass to here all the way to the moon. And believe me, August 17th, where he's going in, he's going to go to the island, my brother, to represent what we are. You know what I mean? This man is on fire. This man has the most powerful bomb, and I guarantee you, because I've seen it with my own eyes, my friends. And one thing is, when it comes after, it's gonna be painful because when that bomb explodes, Diego Hill will bright the whole sky. Okay, so put it together and get it right.
Ahí está. Saludos a Papa Diego Hill there. Look at that. There's no better. Look at that. Just there's no way to say it better, man. That's
Ain't no
it.
way
That's a
better.
stamp of approval right there. And he cut hell of a promo right there. That's it. To any worker watching, get on Papa Hill's level. That's a promo right there. Oh man, that is awesome. But again, to just hearing that, I can imagine to get that so much support and get that. How does that feel for you hearing that and just having that that backing?
Oh,
And it's not only that thing, my friend. It's not the promo. It's the dedication of the sport. I seen him for years, my friend, for years. What he's been putting up out there is being from the ground up, from the baby and the womb to getting born, to walk, to grow, to be a man. I seen that with my own eyes. That's what I'm Papa Diego. It's gonna be always in his corner. And believe me, be ready because we coming.
this turned into a Papa Diego Hill interview.
That's it. This became that's it. This is a dual interview now. That's all. It's no, but that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful to see.
To pump you up, you know what I mean? To put you out there because you deserve it. You
Oh yeah,
deserve
oh, yeah.
Uh,
I did.
There you go. That's beautiful to see, man. No, I give it to you. That is awesome to hear. And again, to hear that support, that is what you want out of this, especially, like I said, choosing that passion, choosing that craft, to have that support. Again, I commend you, man. That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
So, but we go from that. Again, it's awesome to see that reaction from the New York crowd. I definitely heard some rumblings that your name has been brought up once again in that Catalyst conversation, but also another company. So we'll see what happens because I know some people at VXS definitely want to make some things happen.
I
So
mean, like, that's all they got to do is just like hit that DM button. Like I'm telling West Coast, I'm trying to go back to the D. Um, I'm trying to
so
go everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
no,
I'm trying
it makes sense. It makes sense. And again, with the opportunities happening, I definitely know more and more people are going to want to bring in the dive bomb because I want to talk about this because again, we talked about that newly won international championship there, but look at that first challenger being none other than a true just cruiserweight legend himself, Samurai del Sol. But also when we get to that chaos event for UPW there's another thing because at the last UPW event, you decided to get involved with another former guest of the show here, Jackson Drake. So again, you already won your championship that night. What is the frustration there with the Carolina Reaper?
I mean, there ain't just no frustration right there. I think there's a moment where Jackson Drake just got to understand I have to beat him. I have to also get that belt too. Even though the international championship wasn't my main goal to get the belt, I've told him ever since I started here in UPW, I was going for that light heavyweight belt, and I still am to this day. And you know what? I could make history too in UPW. What if I had the international champion, and what if I had the light heavyweight champion? Who else? Who else could do that? You know what I'm saying? So there's a reason why I'm going after the Carolina Reaper. It's to prove to the Reaper that the dive bomb always will explode on you.
Got you. Again, hopefully Jackson Drake hears that because that target's still in his back. But now, from Jackson Drake, that aside, we now go into this match here. Your thoughts going into it with Samurai del Sol on that show right there, September 1st.
What can I say? So far, 2024 is hit me hard. And this right here, that right there just hit me on another level that I ain't even expecting. 2024 is gonna be my year. And for me to have this opportunity against Samir Del Sol, it's a dream come true. What can I say? Former WWE star. Like, he's done it all.
Yep.
And for me to have another opportunity, and I could also check that off my checklist too. And that was my main goal, to wrestle all three members of the Lucha House Party. I've already wrestled Lindsay, Now I'm wrestling Kalisto. Well, I'm sorry, I can't say that. Soul, and now all I need is Grand Metalik now. Or he doesn't go by that no more. Metalik.
There you go. No, I was gonna say that's all that's missing here. So who knows? I can imagine he's probably watching because you've gotten in there with Lindsay. You're getting in there with Samurai del Sol.
Right?
Who
I'm
knows?
not
Metal League
told
might be
that
watching. You never know.
this ain't told him about me, you know what I'm saying? Sign me in
So we're
now.
definitely gonna see again. We're gonna make sure we clip that as well, so Metal League knows you're watching and you're waiting. You'll keep that ring warm for him. But from
Yeah.
there, again, we're talking about opportunities that are happening. We're talking about amazing matches coming up. But I do want to bring up a little bit of a group here that will allude to a match I put out on that universe. So we're gonna talk about this right here and how did this come about with this amazing trio right here, the high flying star machines. Talk us through this and the amazing trio you guys got here with Bojack and BK Westbrook.
You know, I can say like a whole lot of crazy stories about that, but I'm gonna try to go with the story that we always come up with, because we never even thought, if anybody kept asking us about that, it was like we never even thought about being the trios. Honestly, it was just to the point where we got put in like a 6-man tag, and all three of us were teaming together, and then we felt like the chemistry was there, and like no one could touch us. So then afterwards, we had like an opportunity at Beyond, and so we went there, tore it up, and then we was just like, okay, so we're doing this. Should we be a trios? And we all agreed with it. And, and it was kind of hard coming up with the name, but then again, we just like, okay, we have a machine, we have a high flyer, and we have. He used to call himself the Star Boy. Now he calls himself the Super Stud. You know what I'm saying? But that's how the name High Flying Star Machines had came up. And
Got you.
since then, like I could say it's been like what 2-3 years now since I've teamed up with them boys, and it's just a blessing, and I'm just thankful for them, because
Gotcha.
like when I don't have opportunities, like I know that all three of us gonna get the opportunities. I just feel like with us as a trio, we just untouchable. And,
No,
we've proven it in Indiana, South Carolina, here in the Carolinas. You know, like I can say I was just real lucky having like a trios team. Like,
got you.
with,
No, and again, a very talented trio because all three of you guys have been killing it. All three of you guys, again, have those names out there. And now that match I put out there that I feel like, again, a lot of the companies we talked about would want to put together, or even, again, one of those companies you mentioned earlier, Prestige might even want to, or hell, I talked to them a few times. Maybe Revolver needs to make this happen because I feel like we need to see this trios match happen very soon. I think we got to get a little trios warfare and get
oh yeah, on the
that
pick,
team right there.
call me out on Twitter.
So I think we might need to make that happen because
Yeah,
another
come on.
former guest of the show right there, Myron
So,
Reed. Someone book that. Someone book. So that would definitely be something we need to see in the future. Someone book that insane trios match right there.
oh yeah, for sure.
But from that, we talked about again the confirmed stuff. We put that out there in the universe. Is there anyone? Again, you don't have to give us a crazy list, but is there anyone on your radar that Diego Hill wants to step in the ring with?
Amazing Red, because I've been watching them ever since I was a little kid. That was always my main goal, was just to wrestle Amazing Red, because like I feel like I'm that guy that can match his style, and I've also kind of like do a finisher that's similar to his finisher, and I feel like me having that match against Amazing Red, I feel like that could like light up a spark. You know what I mean? I feel like he will never forget the name Diego after wrestling me, and that's my main goal. If I like ever wrestle guys like that are super super big, like people like Samira Del Sol, Lindsay Dorado, Mustafa Ali, um, like all those names. I want them to remember the name Diego. I don't even care about the respect or anything. I just want them to remember my name. But
Well, I
of
feel like
course,
that might come with it. I feel like, especially sharing that ring, sharing it with guys like that, that again have that season in the squared circle. That respect definitely will come with it. And again, a match like that, I definitely know you'll gain Red's respect with that.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
But no, we definitely got to put that out there as well. We're gonna make sure we clip that, just because again, especially in this NYC area, I think Red will not have a problem hearing this clip right here. So we'll definitely make sure we put that out there because you never know what could happen. I'll say the famous
Hey,
words of the SAT: expect the unexpected. So you never know. You never know what could happen with that one. But no, that's a name right there. That's definitely a name right there. And again, you already put out places you would love to make returns back in. They just had to hit that line. So we never know what could happen. We never know
right.
what could happen there. But I was gonna throw this one out there because again, that training, I can imagine you definitely have already gone in there when it comes to training with him in that ring. But how about one more match with that last Bastion, Colby Carino? Would that be something you'll be interested in now this stage in your career?
You know, yeah, I think it's about that time to do a student versus teacher match. You know what I'm saying? Because like the first actual match we did, it wasn't with no crowd. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And we were like doing like a little oceanic tournament for it. And, we was the finals on our brand, and so you know, the crazy part is like it was just like the moment where it was like it's us next. And I'm like, oh now? He's like, yeah. Then the music starts playing. I'm like, okay. It's like, and so at that time to like felt like the energy and the chemistry that me and Kobe had first had when we like first wrestled in the ring, it was like how can I explain it? It's just like looking at myself in the mirror, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, learned a lot. He's trained me, and I felt like, yeah, it could be that moment I have another teacher versus student match. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But
And
I
again, it'll definitely be a
know,
whole different atmosphere now,
but
having
I
the
but
crowd
I let Kobe
involvement.
know. I let Kobe know I'm not the same kid that he thought I was. Daggone when he was training me 4 years ago. I'm just saying that right now.
There you go. So again, Colby Carino, I hope you're listening to this. Again, we're gonna make sure we clip that as well. So the last Bastion can hear. So he knows. Again, the students are watching. The students are watching there.
Oh yeah.
But when it comes to that, I do want to start wrapping this up a little bit here. When it comes to that, when it comes to those 4 years, and again, the amount of miles you've done so far, the amazing stuff that's happened. What has been that biggest lesson you've learned so far in the business?
I mean, I can say a lot of lessons I've learned. Especially through the ups, through the downs. Always listen. That was my lesson. Always listen. Because like when I was first 1 year in, like didn't really, like I said, didn't really learn much. Um, was always getting chewed out for the mistakes that I made, but wasn't taught to like what could I do to done better until it's like a whole month afterwards. But then, you know, and I can also say another lesson I learned is to not be too cocky. You know what I'm saying? Because being too cocky can get you in trouble. You know. And another lesson I can say is just what can I say? Shut up and listen.
No,
A
and
lot of
that is, I feel
like
like that is a consensus. Like if you're ever told,
listen, like
yeah,
I've been doing that, and you see where that's gotten me now. Ever since
hey,
I've done.
there's a reason why this is now a thing, and
Oh yeah.
depending on hopefully after a few weeks, we might see a fourth added to that
Oh,
right there. So
I'm
again,
getting that belt.
there you go. Again, I
I was
got I got to be
I
unbiased.
was
I got to be
close 2 months.
unbiased here.
I was close 2 months ago, but now we had a new month. I'm
There you
getting that
go.
belt. If I got to pin Fuego again, or finally pin Facade, I'm doing it.
There you go. Again,
Oh,
stay tuned to that. PPW, that will be an amazing event right there coming up right there on June 15th. Make sure you get your tickets right there. But again, a lot of amazing opportunities coming up. But Diego, I don't want to take up too much more of your time here, brother. I have to ask you one final question, and that is for the dive bomb himself. What is the end goal, brother?
what is the end goal? Uh, I would say the end goal is to have the world know about Diego Hill. And I'm doing everything I can, every step, every mountain, like every wing that I gotta fly, just to get the world to know me. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. There you go. And again, definitely a lot more people are going to get to know that name and remember the name Diego. But for everyone watching, please don't forget to do this. If you haven't already, make sure you are following Diego on all of his social media right there. Follow him on Instagram. I'm Diego Hill. Follow him on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, at I'm Diego Hill right there.
I'm
Hopefully we
not
can get
that open.
we're gonna make sure we get him out of that. So we're definitely gonna talk about that off the air to get Diego back on the Twitter game there so it can work out a little better in his favor. So Colby doesn't have to keep telling him to get a new Twitter. But on that note, everyone, Diego, thank you so much for joining us here. And to everyone watching, as always, don't forget to be wise, be genuine, be real, be better people, respect the craft. And we'll see you guys on the next one.